This is the video for the integer file game. Here in the blue box it says, build an integer programming game with 8 items and 8 parts. Enter the requirements for each item in the column under item's number. Also enter its maximum and price. Well, down here we see these columns, item number 1, 2, 3, all the way to item 8. And over on the left we see parts 1 through 8 are the rows. And above here is the boxes for the maximum of each item and the price of each item. The maximum must be in the range of 1 to 31. This value determines the number of bits needed for the item. The bit count cannot be more than 24. The higher the bit count, the longer it will take for the solution. Here we see in the green it says the bit count is now 12. For each of these items, there's 4 bits for the solution. After you have entered the requirements, maximums, prices, and on hands, click the Click for the Solution box. Here we see the Click for Solution box. I will simply click on it again. It already has the solution, but it'll figure it out again. There are 20 different files, and it says Click Next. Enter the name of the file in the blue box. When the solution is made, the data is stored in one of the 20 files. Well, here's the blue box with the name in it, and I already have clicked to put the cursor there. I'll click something in the box. I'll click Now. An item will not be in the solution if it does not have a maximum and a price. Here we see where the maximum and price are entered in the boxes. If an item has a part requirement, the part must have an on-hand quantity. Goes on to say that selected items are green highlighted. Well, down here we see 3 of them are green highlighted, and yes, under the parts, they all have a requirement, and each one of the parts has an on-hand quantity. Then it says the program will maximize the income, giving the requirements, maximums, prices, and on-hand quantities. And right now we see the income is at 252. The bits needed are in ranges. Well, if there's just 1 to 1, in other words the value can only be a 1, it's 1 bit. If it's 2 to 3, it takes 2 bits. If it's 4 to 7, it takes 3 bits. 8 to 15, 4 bits, and 16 to 31, 5 bits are needed. If an item's maximum is over 31, you can make an item for 32 times the requirement and price, and make it with a maximum of 1. So when it's brought into the solution, you know, well, there's another 32 of that item made. Well, it says Click Next. I click. For more, make an item for, say, 64, 128, 256. Each with a maximum of 1. However, you can only have 8 items. So you may run out of items trying to make something that has a higher maximum. To enter data, click on the orange box to place the cursor in the box. Then use the keyboard to enter the data. You just can come down here where this 2 is and click on the 2 and change the number in that box. The program uses the gray code for the first 18 bits. The binary code is used for the bits 19 to 24. If all 24 bits are used, there are 16,777,216 possibilities. That's how many tests it has to make. It could take 16 seconds to solve the problem, especially if you have 24 bits. Alright, this is how the integer file game works. Now I'm going to click on Program in the red stripe to look at the program for this game. Here is the main program. Over here in the box it says, well, the main program is called the integer programming file. Subprogram 1, enter the values. Subprogram 2, program solution. And subprogram 3 is read and write the files. Up here at the top in the blue boxes, execute the application, save the application, create a new application, create a new subprogram, and the rest of the blue boxes are used for copying instructions from one program to another program, one application to another application, and so forth. Down on the bottom here are brown boxes that are the tools for programming. Listing values, page text, putting comments in and captions, displaying the register values and the variable values, and so forth. Below that, there are YouTube videos about creating an app all the way to building an HTML file for the app. And below that, there's an app that has examples of the actions that are used in this P code. By the way, over here in this main program, this one column is names of the actions that are being used. Then below that is the list of HTML5 P code YouTube videos about programming in this P code, about instruction parts and lines and values and text and all you need to know about programming in this P code. Now I'm going to go up here and click on execute the application, and we'll go back to where we were. At the bottom of this screen it says you can start an app from A to T. Now you would start it if you had saved it when you were programming. You can go and change this program, and one of those blue boxes said save the program. You could do that, and then later on you could run your version of the program. If you saved it under A, you would click here under A. Below that, there's a list of HTML5 P code apps. These are other applications that are written in this P code that will give you thousands of examples of how the P code works. Alright, this is the end of the integer file game video.